Yeah, no,
All
I like it. I
right.
like it.
Man, what's up, YouTube? Man,
Wagwan, wagwan.
yeah, welcome to the first official episode of the Machanja Bros. And, as the name prescribes, there are only two. Well, as far as the eye can see at this minute, because that is a contentious matter if we still get into it. But
Oh
we know
boy.
Dad will probably be watching this one and, hopefully have a little crack about it. But, we just want to say that thank you for watching and joining us. So there's been a few revamps on the website. Started off with Echoes, went to Dario Kuya. The essence of it is, we really want to be authentic, bringing you just some raw and unfiltered discussions. We want to be able to touch on some politics. We want to touch on business, family, fatherhood, relationships. So we don't want to put ourselves in a box. So the essence of this podcast is just be natural. So karibu wote, one and all. I'll pass it over to my brother, man, Lusala. Go ahead. Actually, my name is Kuya, by the way, since I did not even introduce myself. But Mr. Luke, take the floor, brother.
Yeah, no. Absolutely. I probably should have changed my name right there, but same last name. um, so obviously Kuya is my brother, super close, very interested in trying to figure out how we can make a difference in the community moving forward. Um, Kuya, you're a millennial as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So, I'm just looking forward to it's like a community now because back in the day, tough for people to actually connect from even just their villages, you cities, things like that. And now we have like a global thing. We can pass information off just like that, in a couple minutes, goes everywhere. I think that to me, I was talking to my brother the other day and I was like, this generation, millennials, Gen Alpha I guess that's what we're raising, which the name is fitting, Gen Alpha, because we're doing things a lot differently than our parents did
Mm-hmm.
across the continent, across the world. Um, we're raising people who are emotionally stable, mentally secure, don't prioritize materialistic things over the place that they actually live in, which is their bodies. So super proud. I'm a dad, two daughters. I work, got a got a business, possibly a couple businesses coming up, so super pumped to see what the future holds. I know right now it's a bit of a dark time, but that's part of the reason, Kuya, that we're kind of trying to have something like this, because I think there are so many avenues now and people don't feel like they have power or even a say in whatever's going on in the world. And I think that this is the perfect time to just have conversations, understand like, hey, we could be from very many different parts of the world, but we really, most of us, really, I think all of us want the same things, a good family, good foundation, be able to work and feed your kids, have some fun, not just exist. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. I don't know if I missed anything,
Love
Kuya,
that.
but yeah.
Nah, man, no, no, no. I mean, I think the way you describe yourself is great. Actually, that's one of my biggest flaws. Talking about myself in interviews, I hate that nonsense. Also,
I'm in
tell
sales,
me.
so.
Yeah, you can sell pretty much, fish to water or fish. Yeah, yeah, that's exactly what it is. Sell water to fish is what it is. But
Yeah.
yeah, that part of me, man, really sucks. Obviously, a little bit about myself too, man. And then just like Lusala prescribed and described his life. He's a dad. I'm also a dad to a young boy. That's the other Machanje that you probably, will make an appearance hither and thither as we kind of continue. Yeah, too many Machanjas in this world, I tell you that much.
Too many,
Uh,
bro.
it's a
We
problem,
don't
bro.
even know all of them.
We don't know. We don't know. But one day we will find out,
You know the day, you guys. You guys know the days. Y'all know. If you know, you know it.
Yeah, that's terrible, man. But we
It's
pray for
terrible.
we pray for
Panic.
long health. I say, hey, long live
Of course, all the
Machanja, long
time.
live
Yeah.
Machanja.
All
Yes,
love. You feel me?
yes, sir. But yeah, so our dad, I also work full time. Business is I think in our DNA, man. So we have a few avenues, and actually really excited to share with the guys. So the projects we're working on, Lusala, I mean, we'll definitely, as we progress, right, we'll kind of share just our journeys with, how do you even start a successful business for you? The tour business is going really well. You want to branch out to different things, which is amazing. For me, was in transportation as well, logistics. That was interesting. Learned a lot of different lessons. Right now, we have a health tech company that we're launching. We have a real estate company we're launching as well.
It's all about it. All about it.
Yeah, and then there's a like a consumer to consumer um, company we want to launch as well, and everything is kind of geared, towards Africa, because I think that is the next frontier, right, bro? Like America is so advanced, yeah, and you want to go like the Western world, like the open AIs of the world. Open AI can do just about anything. They can be, I mean, you saw the launch like Open AI Health. They can code for you. They can build a website for you. They can do analytics for you. They can do banking for you. I think Anthropic signed something with Goldman Sachs recently. So it's like, dude, but Africa, man, hey, I'm just like, dude, there's just so many opportunities there. So everything that I think we are really trying to do is geared towards back home. Like, how can we actually get our people to like, for me, how do we get them to just the same level, like the same playing field? Because by the time we kind of get here, these folks are here, and then we get here, they're here. So for us, it's like, how can we try and innovate rapidly and get folks to like that standard? But so many stories about how our people operate, and we can share those here for real. But I look forward to kind of chit chatting more about all these aspects of life, man. So that's again a little bit about me, the ethos of kind of where the thinking is coming from. So we can jump into what's on your mind, brother. What's on your mind, man?
Well, I thought that was interesting because you talked, you said something about AI and or maybe the future, or no, you were saying that people as Africans, by the time we get there, people are kind of moving forward. So that got me thinking about
Mhm.
AI, right? And it's, definitely has a lot of issues, but there's been some research out there that's been done, and they're finding out that uh, Africans have the most positive view about AI than the Western countries.
Interesting.
And I was thinking about that, and I was like, that's really interesting. And quite truly, I said, you know what? Maybe AI is a great equalizer, you know,
Hmm.
like meaning that, you know, you can live in a village so long as you have a cell phone, you have some internet, you have access to those tools, like somebody that lives in New York, Paris, London, wherever else in the world that the richest people have access to exclusive things that Africans usually don't have.
Exactly.
And I'm just kind of focusing on Africa, but we know it's our brothers in South America, our sisters in South America, and other parts of the world, and the Euro Asias of the world and everything. Which, by the way, Asia is not a continent, but we'll talk about that. You know, continent, you have to have a body of water around you. Yeah, I can't just start making all of this stuff.
That's funny.
I think AI is going to be the great equalizer in a perspective. Of course, I'm concerned because I saw a report from Amazon says that by 2020 or no 2033, I think they are going to eliminate you know uh, over 600,000 jobs. you know
Amazon.
Amazon, and they're going to automate most of that to make a profit of an extra, I don't know, some percentage points, I can't remember, call it
Hmm.
25% or something like that.
Hmm.
Super crazy. As people who own businesses, I could never imagine wanting to make so much money just because I'm greedy to that level. So I think right now we're at a precipice. I think if you look at history, there's so much stuff that's changing. The internet changed the world, everything. Now we have AI, you know, and people all over the world, especially in Africa now, have access to these solutions, you could call them.
Tools.
And
Yeah.
yeah, or the tools. So I just think it's how we use them and how we can move forward, because we have uh a punching chance now to be able to you know compete with the rest of the world, or at least show our value, or at least understand that, wow, we're not worthless, we're not downtrodden.
Yep.
So I'm super
Yep.
excited about how this is going, especially for Africa, to be honest with you, because AI is not going to affect Africa the same way it affects, let's call, the United States. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I think the way we move forward with these tools and how we decide to use them will be really huge, and what we prioritize is going to be really huge. And I'm really thankful for our African brothers and sisters all over the continent who are rightfully so resisting an 87-year-old president that's been in power for who knows how long. Paul
This is our
Biya,
guy
you need to go.
in Uganda.
Uganda, Museveni, hey, we appreciate you, man. but you got to go. You know, um,
The guy in
the guy
Cameroon, I
who's in
think, right?
Zimbabwe now, who just changed the constitution to now 7 years instead of the 4 or 5 years they had. I mean, he didn't he used the system,
Mm-hmm.
which I have my feelings about that. But I'm concerned. You're 80 something. I don't need you changing nothing. Right now, what we need to be seeing is like 50-year-olds that's going into power, into government, things like that. We don't need people who are, you're done. So I think that's kind of one of the things that I'm really looking forward to and excited about Africa, because I think Africa is the next frontier, like you said. This is
Yep.
now going to be the new Asia. This is where you're
Yeah.
going to get all your human capital. Germany, we're looking at you, Ruto. Don't fuck this up, man. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There, smart countries are coming in. Like Germany is losing, or they need about 300 to 400,000 workers every year. Otherwise, yeah, you know what I mean. So yeah, that's why they were in Kenya just recently
Dude,
talking about all this and that.
Japan probably has the same problem, but Japan is probably
Japan
worse.
has a massive issue, but the way they treat our people, the way we
Yeah.
treat their people when they come, to our countries, is out of control. And by the way, we're Pan Africanists. We're Africans who live in Kenya, or from Kenya. We live abroad, but um, the journey is begun is starting now. I talked to a lot of African Americans. They're ready. Caribbeans, they're ready. And quite frankly, super excited for our continent, man. So yeah.
Yeah, the other Machanja mid his entrance. All right, buddy. Yeah, get the cupcake, little guy. All right, but bro, and guys, we'll definitely have interruptions. So as I say, it's gonna be raw. We are dads and all that good stuff. But I love everything you just said, bro. I think Africans need to boss inafaa tuamke man, unajua inafaa tuangalie yani mali tumefika and just say,
We
dude,
have to.
it's not working. But we have this thing, the AI, as you said, that can help us leapfrog and get to a better place. And dude, the tools they're not that crazy. I understand. I think ChatGPT has like a free version, right? So we should be able to do that. But more so, we should obviously innovate as well. Silvio, we need to get our own large language models. One second. He's here.
My brother's got to attend to some family stuff. I the way I think about these things is,
My bad, my bad.
especially from a perspective of, um, the enemy of yeah, the enemy of my friend is my friend, or some shit like that. I don't do any of that. The enemy of my brother is my enemy.
Hmm.
Africans got to start thinking about that. If
Dude.
we don't do this the right way, we're gonna end up in the same Epstein bullshit ruling class. We're looking at you, man. You know what I mean? Who are just covering crap up, raping little kids, eating humans. Used to be conspiracy. Now you can say it with certainty because we have evidence. Because it is
Hmm.
heavy.
Yep.
Now we need to, just to deal with it, we have to drink that Hennessy. You know what I'm saying? Just kidding. Just kidding.
Hey, I gotta have me a little bit of that too. But bro, I'm right there with you, man. We really need to step up and say, man, like status quo is not good enough anymore, man. And I think, um, fortunately or unfortunately, you need power and like absolute power to be able to make changes. Especially like back home. So we know the stories, man. You want to buy a property back home, people get conned. You want to do business, family screws you. It's like, dude, what is this mentality that we have back home that Yani, I don't even know if it's crab, eat crab or whatever you want to call it, but it makes no sense. Like I just do not have it personally can't really steal
Eating
from my
crow.
own. It's terrible, man. It's terrible. And it makes you like not trust your people. And so that's one thing that hopefully we can we can create a mindset of trusting each other and saying, you know what, I'm not going to screw you over, man. You can look at things like Singapore, bro. Singapore, as you well know, got independence the same exact time as Kenya, bro. And one man made a decision to literally, he brought in a dude, like an American dude, to be like, man, you're going to help me fix this stuff. And that's my approach. So some of the ideas we want to work on and which we'll share broadly on the pod, man, is right now there's like a mass exodus in the workforce in the United States. If I was an African leader, I'm gonna suck absorb all that, not because my people cannot build, right?
Because they
But bro,
can build.
the thing is this: have you gone to NASA? Which African country gone to NASA? Which African
Zero.
country has built a $1 trillion company?
Zero.
Exactly. So I'm not shitting on my people. I'm just saying you haven't done it. So bring people who've done it. The Germans came and built the goddamn atomic bomb over here, man. The military, all this equipment, the Germans. So you have to be able to poach people and attract that talent. And then you tell them, hey, John Doe, you're going to have a staff of 30 Kenyans building this, superconductor or whatever the case may be. Boom, that's it. The knowledge is going to start be passing from this John Doe all the way to the other people. So I just don't know why we don't do that. Like I would try and really bring a lot of the talent from here. People are losing jobs. AWS, Amazon, Meta, all these people, they build models, they build business. I mean, they build people who like built Siri. Dude, all these people are slowly becoming jobless and jobless and jobless. So now they're like, dude, what are we gonna do? If I was Africa, brother, I said I would just try and poach that, man. I don't know how you feel about that, but I'm like, dude, that is like the way to reverse a brain drain super fast, man. And then anybody like us who wants to go back home, bring us back, man. We're willing to come home for a decent salary, a decent living wage, and we will provide services, man.
Hey, shout out Ghana. Big shout out Ghana. Huge.
And Rwanda too, man.
You know what? Shout out Rwanda. Got my issues with what's his name?
Kagame.
I love how stoic he is. That we'll be talking. He talks. He talks like there's. He's not at a conference. He's like, and I will tell you one thing. You want to come and threaten me? I was like, all right, you're not finna move an inch, okay?
He's not
That
threatened.
skinny, tall dude. But one thing about it is, we've been brainwashed. First of all, to your first point, this is the biggest sickness to the whole society of Africa. And what's funny? People don't understand this. To most of the other countries, like America, for instance, they're brainwashed. You're brainwashed. Because some of them now, we're not gonna get into this, but the folks that are doing the killing people.
Mm-hmm.
You guys know, I'm not trying to get into that. I don't want to get demonetized, all that. Like, we have a bunch of people who are even watching it.
We got nothing.
But I'm not trying to get into that.
1131 with precise. We appreciate you for sticking around.
Hey. OGs, the first OGs that are with us, man. Hey, listen. Special stuff coming to you in the future. But for sure, Kuya, I'm definitely aligned with you from a perspective of Africa has to be for Africans first. We have to have that mentality immediately.
And
we gotta start being proud of ourselves. You guys, let me tell you.
Yep.
You're doing us a disservice coming to these countries. For what? You can't come to these countries and then you're like, oh yeah, dude. And they're like, yeah, look at that. They call us all these names. I am now in my 30s, and it's just now that I'm in my true power. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
With my children and everything. My children go through stuff and they go to affluent schools and stuff like that. I'm having conversations with them, real conversations, Do not. You're a Black woman, okay? You're not only Black, you're a woman. So 100% agree. I've thought about this. This is going to be controversial, but I don't care if you're a prince, a king, a monarch, a dictator, whatever. You call it what you want. Just don't call me for France. You know what I'm saying? Shout out, Duffel Bag Boys. But I really agree with that. It doesn't matter. I think we've been brainwashed to think a lot of things. Religion is another thing I'd like to touch on, and even education systems. But just what we're talking about right now from a perspective of our leadership. What do we get? We're the only continent that people come and take our stuff, and we can't go anywhere else and take their stuff. They used us to create a whole country.
Throughout history.
This is a little pop quiz for the people and that's going to listen to this. What country in the world came to a land, took the land by force, killed the population there to minorities,
mm-hmm.
and they went across the oceans at other people from Africa, brought them back to that country for 400 years. It's unfathomable, actually. We just say that like it's a joke. 400,
Mm-hmm.
I'd be a horrible slave. I'd be out the first day. But to bring them to that country to help you build the biggest, most successful civilization of our history, and
Mm-hmm.
then for you folks not to even give them any rights that they had to fight for. A lot of people need to understand we're much more than they've told us. They've been hiding stuff from us the whole time. They've actually even got us divided. Oh, Kenya,
Yep.
oh,
Yep.
Botswana. Shut up. You're my brother. I see that all the time. I see it. I'm like, brother, what's going on? Right. To actually on Friday, I'm going to a dinner with a gentleman from Gabon. He can barely speak English, but I saw
Mm-hmm.
him. I got him. I was like, hey, let me help you out. We don't speak the same language or anything, but I don't care who's ruling so long as they're doing the right thing, because we don't. There's really
Exactly.
no democracies in the world.
No, it
We're
doesn't
now
exist,
finding out with the Epstein files that this is a unipolar party. You
dude.
know,
Man, they've been trying to protect themselves for quite some
that's
time now,
it.
man. Yeesh.
It's a class war. It's not even racism. I'm really even
Yeah.
willing to to go and start having conversations about this, because it's not even racism. What it
Mm-hmm.
is the rich people are interested in keeping their power to do depravities. And this is the
Yep.
issue about money. The
Yep.
money is going to get you to start doing some weird stuff, because we're human beings. You have this that you want more, for not for no reason. You just want to fulfill something within you. So yeah, I agree with you. I think that we need to have strong leaders, but we need to have leaders that care about us.
100%.
Uh, yeah, if like look at what happened to Libya, case in point, right? So yeah, bro, I don't know if I answered your question, but I'm 100% in
Nah,
about
man.
somebody that
Yeah.
cares for our people. Buy Africa for Africa. That's what we need.
Good. And we need, again, to your earlier statement, the pride thing, man. Like, Americans, for all their whatever, these people are proud. The Europeans, they are
Europeans.
proud. I'm from Eastern Europe. I'm Ukrainian. Like, dude, Zelensky, proud little short dude, bro. Proud, man. But Africans, oh, President Trump, bro, what is going on, man? I don't understand. As in, we need to be able to and treat our people with respect. But I'd say, man, yani, dude, wachana na leadership. Stuff inafanya ianze na the citizens. The citizens just need to be able to look at each other in the mirror and say, man, listen, man, I'm sorry, man. Because we've worked on a couple of I'll share a story. I was trying to recruit a dude for a software project back home. He's a young lad. He's graduated recently, and he's into software. So this is for ID Home, which we'll share with you guys. And I'm like, bro, I'm looking for a co-founder, somebody who has the technical skills. We can build this company together. I can give you a little, whatever percentage we agree upon. But the first thing, and this is something that is now occurring as a theme, they want money. I'm thinking, where my friend Duse just gave an analogy. You go to a shamba, right? There's a banana plant in the middle. And then they ask you, hey, you can get access to this shamba, but you have to build and grow more bananas. But you're like, no, 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 man. I'm hungry right now, bro. I'm gonna go just eat a banana. I'm good. Like I'm good. I just want a banana. That is the African mentality, which is crazy. And I mean, and I want to say it's the African mentality. I don't think that's like actually disparaging our people. I feel like people have just gone through so much hurt and harm for so long that they don't see beyond like their issues right now. And that mindset is ugly, because like this guy, he's a young dude. I'm like, dude, I can offer you support. Like my app is already built. I don't even need you, to be honest with you. But they cannot see beyond like the now. So Jama, he opts to eat the banana as opposed to saying, you know what? I can actually till this land, plant more bananas, make sure I'm watering this garden, make sure everything is good, and then I'm going to eat for 10, 20 years, man. That is the mentality which Africans, we need to switch. It needs to start with the individual person to say, okay, hapa hivi ndo inafaa nianze kuswitch yani maze. In order for me to grow, inafaa nianze kuplant to seeds, pole pole, na kuwork na wase, kutrust wase. Don't screw people over, because tomorrow is another day, man. People try to screw us over all the time, bro, because we're here thinking, we pick money from trees or whatever. It's not cool. It is not cool at all. So I think the mentality part, bless you, we need to change the mentality, brother. And I feel like, that's a good place to kind of, slowly wind down the pod. We only got like, 4 minutes. We want to keep this 30 minutes. But that's, I'd say, that's like, kind of like a good place to kind of, end the pod in a sense. Well, we got a few minutes. We can kind of, do closing remarks and all that good jazz, bro.
Yeah, I really love the way you described that. I'm sorry, I sneezed. I thought I hit the mute button, but that didn't work. I really, yeah, hey, it is what it is. I think that it's a really weird thing for Africans to be so individualistic because me being outside the country, I like my neighbors and stuff. They're like, man, look, Lou is so awesome because community. Like yesterday, my neighbors wanted to go do a little date, and I said, yeah, no problem. Give me the kids, so long as they know that I'm the king in the house and they can listen to me. And they were like, man, we just never met somebody like you because you're blah blah. And I was like, yeah, it's a community. I kept on saying community.
Hmm. Hmm.
You look at China, community. You look at Saudi Arabia, community. You look at UAE, community. You look at Qatar. Like, listen to me, you guys. You want to go far, go together. You
Yep.
want to go fast, go alone. Okay?
Exactly.
Period. There's no shortcuts. There's not. And I can appreciate the fact that people are struggling. But now we're saying, listen, we're ready to go back and then reinvest in these communities so that we can find a way back. Can you help us? I need money. I need $1,000 a month.
Makes no
Man,
sense.
it's a broke mentality. You're whitewashed. And I'm not saying that to disparage anybody. I'm saying that for you to start thinking because you're looking at partners who have some ideas, who have some resources, who have a little bit of disposable income, and we're like, listen, we need your help so that we can build this together. So that when we get it to, I know right now it might not be what you think, but maybe when it gets to $1 million, you're gonna have 20% equity in this thing. People don't understand that.
They do not.
We have to change the mindset. I really agree with you on
Yeah.
that, Queer. There's
Good
just no
beside.
other way to do it. You see, like you're saying, the pride thing. You meet a person from the Ukraine, they're very patriotic. You meet somebody
Yep.
from Italy, they're very. In fact, I went to Chick-fil-A. This
Hmm.
is you can Google it if you don't know what it is. I went to Chick-fil-A with my daughters, and when I was waiting on there, one of the young girls that worked there, she might have been like, I don't know, 16, they have like young kids that work there. And they were like, we were waiting on the food and she asked me, if there was one place you could live in the world and you didn't have to worry about money or anything, where would it be? I didn't even think about it. I was like, Africa. And she just looked at me and she was like, and I was like, yeah, yeah. I know that's not like what you were thinking or whatever, but I was like, I'm taking my blood. But like, you guys don't
Yep.
understand how much or how badly we all want to go to Africa, man.
Back home,
We need it.
man.
You know,
Yep.
we are ready for this, and we need to help each other out. We need to be understanding, and we need to build together. That's what we need to do. Ubuntu. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing else. Shout out Maponga Marara, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we gotta get this together, man. We gotta get
He's
it
a
together.
G. I agree with you, bro. 100%, man. So, guys, this is the essentially the pod. I mean, I think this was maybe some things we just needed to get off our chest on the first one, man. Because in reality, we want to show that we are building over here too, but our efforts are going to be back home. Just repeating myself. For anybody who stayed this long, man, kudos to you for staying for the last 28 minutes. We appreciate you, and so looking forward to potting every week, same time. We'll be dropping these every week, and looking forward to kind of diving into the different things that we're working on. As I said, relationships. We're going to talk about
Business.
business. Yeah, we're going to talk about the continent, America, politics. We'll touch on everything. Because again, we are multifaceted people. We don't want to put ourselves in a box. Bro, I'll let you close it out, my guy.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Kuya, thank you for, you know, putting this together for real. And, like I said, Kuya and I are brothers and we're really huge on helping other people. We're not just interested in only helping ourselves because we know that the world cannot get better if we're so individualistic. So we're ready to, I think there's a huge exodus that's already starting. And we want people, especially all Black people from everywhere in the world, to get more connected, which I see it happening and go to airports and things like that. And there's resources, there's ways that we can help each other make the world a better place and have our own Wakanda out there. So the only
Hmm.
thing I would say is let's keep learning, let's keep getting closer, ask questions. And, I think that's really the only way we can grow. But I encourage anybody that's listening to this, especially if you're not African or even if you're African living outside in the diaspora, let's start getting together. Let's start getting together even within America, and it doesn't have to be the Kenyans and the Nigerians and the Cameroonians and the Liberians. No, let's make this thing inclusive. Let's get 10 of us. People are making 50K a year to 100K to way more than that. $1,000 is not going to hurt you. If we get 20 people put $1,000 together, we can go start a company easy anywhere else. I'm just saying that, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I
Right.
wish everybody health, prosperity, and a thirst for knowledge, man.
Bisa, bisa. Well said, man. All right, guys. Machanja boys over and out, man. We appreciate you. Love you, man.
Nawashukuru. Asanteni.
Boa.